Chapters 70 to 73 of the Rule of St. Benedict. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. The Rule of St. Benedict by St. Benedict of Nursia, translated by Anonymous, Chapter 70. That no one presume to strike another. Let every occasion of presumption be avoided in the monastery. We ordain and decree that no one, unless the abbot hath given his authority, shall be allowed to excommunicate or to strike any of his brethren. Such as trespass in this respect shall be reprehended in the presence of all, that the rest may be inspired with fear. But let all have strict discipline and care over children until their 15th year. Yet this also must be done with moderation and discretion. For he who shall, without the abbot's leave, presume to chastise such as are above that age, or to be unduly severe even towards the children, shall be liable to regular discipline. Because it is written, quote, "What thou wouldst not have done to thyself, do not thou unto another." Unquote. Tobit, chapter 4, verse 16. Chapter 71. That the brethren be obedient to each other. The service of obedience by all is not to be rendered to the abbot only, but the brethren shall also mutually obey each other, knowing that by this path of obedience they shall go unto God. Therefore, when the command of the abbot, or of other superiors constituted by him, have been first obeyed, to which we suffer no private orders to be preferred, the juniors shall obey their seniors with all charity and diligence. If anyone be found contentious, let him be rebuked. But if a brother be rebuked for even the least thing by the abbot, or by any of his seniors, or if he shall perceive that the mind of his senior is even slightly, be it ever so little, moved against him, he shall, without delay, prostrate himself at his feet, and remain there till that commotion be appeased and he receive a blessing. If anyone be too proud to do this, let him be liable either to corporal punishment, or if he prove contumacious, let him be expelled from the monastery. Chapter 72. Of the good zeal which monks ought to have. As there is an evil zeal of bitterness which separateth from God, and leadeth to hell, so there is a good zeal which separateth from vices, and leadeth to God and life everlasting. Let monks, therefore, exercise this zeal with most fervent love. That is to say, let them, quote, in honor prevent one another. Unquote. Romans chapter 12, verse 10. Let them bear patiently with each other's infirmities, whether of body or of mind. Let them contend with one another in the virtue of obedience. Let no one follow what he thinketh profitable to himself, but rather that which is profitable to another. Let them show unto each other all brotherly charity with a chaste love. Let them fear God, love their abbot with sincere and humble affection, and prefer nothing whatever to Christ. And may he bring us to life everlasting. Amen. Chapter 73. That the whole observance of perfection is not contained in this rule. We have written this rule, that by its observance in monasteries we may show that we possess, in some measure, uprightness of manners, or the beginning of a good religious life. But for such as hasten forward to the perfection of holy living, there are the precepts of the Holy Fathers, the observance whereof leadeth a man to the height of perfection. For what page or what passage is there in the divinely inspired books of the Old and New Testament that is not a most perfect rule of man's life? Or what book is there of the Holy Catholic Fathers that doth not proclaim this, that we may by a direct course reach our Creator? Moreover, what else are the collations of the Fathers, their institutes, their lives, also the rule of our holy Father Basil, but examples of the good living and obedience of monks, and so many instruments of virtue? But to us who are slothful and lead bad and negligent lives, they are a matter for shame and confusion. Therefore, whosoever thou art that dost hasten to the heavenly country, first accomplish, by the help of Christ, this little rule written for beginners, and then at length thou shalt come, under the guidance of God, to those loftier heights of doctrine and of virtue, which we have mentioned above. The End. Whosoever shall follow this rule, peace on them. Galatians chapter 6, verse 16. End of chapters 70 to 73. End of the Rule of Saint Benedict by Saint Benedict of Nursia, translated by Anonymous.